Now that you have added text to your infographic, the next step is to work with graphics. You will click on Elements, and you can add in anything that you want by typing it in the Search Anything from Canva box. If you notice the view that I am in currently, I can see the entire infographic, and all that you need to do to move in is to scroll over, or to move out, you scroll back. So I'm going to keep it in this mode for right now so we can see a little bit when things pop up on the screen how we can move things around and resize everything. Because I'm making an apple pie, I'm going to type in apple pie, and it brings up a lot of different graphics. And so you're going to look for one that fits what you think would look best. And you might do one that's more cartoony, or you might choose to do one that is more realistic. So I'm going to stick to the one that looks a bit more like a cartoon. And when you tap it, it will pop up on the screen. You're going to move it to where you want. And if you notice, I have a lot of things here that I don't necessarily need. I have the world, for an example. You would click on that and hit the backspace to delete anything that you don't want. So I'm going to get rid of the clouds and the light bulb and the final cloud at the bottom. So now I have something that's a little bit cleaner to work with. If you notice, this is a little bit small now that I'm looking at the big version of the infographic. So I'm going to double tap all that text and I'm going to make it bigger. So I might go for, let's say, a 50. And when I do that, I can drag it out by just touching the edge and moving it. And then when I want to move it up on the page, all that I need to do is tap it and drag it to where I want it to go. So how to bake the best apple pie in 5 easy steps. I'm going to make the 5 easy steps a little bit bigger. I'll make it 30. And then I'm going to touch the apple pie and make it a little bit easier to work with as well. And let's see what that looks like if we bring it in a little bit more. That's looking a little bit better. So how to bake the best apple pie in 5 easy steps. I have all of my steps filled in underneath, and I like the way that the boxes look. I might respace things a little bit. If you tap on one item and then hit the control and tap on the next item, everything will move. I'm just going to move everything up. And everything else looks like it's spaced fairly well. Might be a little bit that you want to redo. And these are all small element changes that you can do to make it look more visually pleasing. And all that I'm doing again is tapping and dragging it down, or tapping and dragging it up. And this way it fills in the space a little bit better when I'm looking at everything. So I have things spaced out a little bit better, and I have a little bit of graphics added in. And then I also like the idea of adding in a small graphic to go with each of my steps. It makes it a little bit easier to follow, and then I might put them on either side of the designs to make it flow a little bit better. So if I take a look here where it says gather your ingredients, so I'm going to say baking ingredients. You need to be kind of creative with thinking with what you want. And so for my baking ingredients, I have things here that look pretty good for what I might need, but I can scroll down just a little bit more and I might find something that looks a little bit better. There are a lot that are true images, regular photos, and there are others that are graphics like cartoons. There's also some things that move. I wouldn't recommend adding the items that move to your infographic for right now, only because of the fact that this is going to be something that can be printed, and that's not something that's going to be very helpful in a printing. So I'm going to click on this and add in that graphic. I do need it smaller so that it looks a little bit better on the page. And again, you tap it and you can drag it to where you want it to go. And I want to make sure that I'm not mixing in any of the writing, because right now you can see that this is covering part of what I need. So I'm going to move this a little bit so you can see it. And then I would pick another image to put over here for the oven. I would put it on this side just to make it look a little bit better. And the same thing going down through. And that is how you can add and delete elements such as graphics and photos to your infographic.